Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the action in the main attraction. It's about to go down right here on Run It Back, Texas.
I'm excited to be here with Desi today. You know, Desi, we were out there talking and just going over all this stuff about running a race and what it means and how it affects us, our family, our minds, and it's a lot. A lot of people don't realize all that it takes. And then we decided, hey man, let's have this conversation so that people can see us and not unscripted. We don't have any script. I brought a piece of paper.
There's nothing on it.
Nothing on it, but I'm ready to write something in case I want to pick up something. But let me ask you, Desi, I know we ran against each other back in
2021.
2021. We ran against each other. And you were on the Democrat side. And the reason why we were talking too, and I was really, and I'm thinking about, I care about you, man, and I hear all the bashing that's going on in your name, and people are, oh, he's this and he's that, and I'm getting calls every day. And I thought, what better way to do is just talk about these issues, putting them on the table. First thing I want to ask you, people want to know this because I get this asked all the time. Were you a Democrat?
Was a Democrat. I am my mother's son. And I was told growing up I'm a Democrat because JFK was a Democrat and I'm Partido Viejo, which is in Spanish, the old party, the Democrat Party. And when I decided to run, I really sat down with my family, my loved one, and they said, "You're a Democrat." And I said, "But why? Democrat Party is this, the Republican Party is this." And they said, "Look, you're a Democrat." And it was the same story that a lot of us along the border have. Along the border, they used to be Democrats because the Democrat Party was more conservative. That's not the case anymore.
And you're right. And you know, so, and you and I are like the same, but those parts of us are different. You know, I've been a Republican my whole life, but even when I never ran for office until I ran, and then I had aunts and uncles that were just like, "What? You're on the Republican Party?"
Right.
But we're Democrats, you know, our whole families. But here's the thing that I tell people, especially in this district, you know, being the first guy to win 118 in the history of Texas, I look back and I'm thinking, man, I have a lot of friends from the South Side, from my area, that were Democrats and now Republican. And the Republican Party can't go and bash and beat up people like that. We've got to be embracing. We want to grow our party. We're about faith, family, you know, and freedoms. And I hear you preach that. You preach all the ideals of the Republican Party, but yet you're going to take a hit for that. And that bothers me.
Well, I appreciate you for that, Representative, and you know this because you're the trailblazer that won the 118th for the Republican Party, kept the seat for the Republican Party, and know everything that comes along with the 118th. And the thing that I see now is that I am finding myself defending the fact that I came over to the Republican Party, but so did 1 million other voters from the border.
Yeah.
And again, outside of politics, we're embraced by the Republican Party, and I've been embraced by the Republican Party. But then the bashing starts, and it's like, okay, well, hold on. I am a Republican. I wanted to be Republican. They asked me to be Republican, meaning that, of course, the Republican Party wants us to turn Republican, and now I've got to answer for having been a Democrat. And I'm sitting there going, hold on. Okay, cool, I was. I've never hidden that fact. Again, we ran against each other. It was in the news. It's still in newspapers. So at the end of the day, again, the way I describe it is this. It's like a relationship. It's like a relationship, meaning that you look at a divorce, and it's never one thing. You can't look at a divorce and go, "Oh, she cheated on me, that's why it happened." No. There are a million things leading up to that.
Right.
And again, I look at everything that I am, and I look at everything that's changed in the past few years, and it was a million things. I can point to all of them, but ultimately it's more who I am. It's more who I feel comfortable with. I was told that I was too conservative to be a Democrat. I was going to get censured. You were with me in the interviews where I would answer, and it was, that guy's not really a Democrat. Okay, cool. Now I'm a Republican. I am a conservative. I've never changed that. Now I'm not a Republican? Oh my gosh, okay, wait a minute. So I have been just keeping my message simple.
Right, and Desi, that's why, you know, I came here, I said, hey, let's meet, let's talk, because, man, my heart broke for you because, man, when I first met you, and I've met a lot of people, and I've ran against a lot of people, right? A lot of people ran against me.
You beat a lot of people.
So I knew of Desi Martinez because I knew the good things that you did in the community. And you had a great reputation of always giving and always helping. And so that's what drew me right away to you as a friend. And then we ran, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was hoping you wouldn't win the nominee for the Democrat Party. Guys said, he's going to be tough to beat. You didn't, and so I ended up winning. But then, through those years, I got to really know you personally and see that, hey, I came to you as a Republican, hey, we need help with this, or what's your thoughts on this? And you're always a thought leader. You're always one to give money, to help other people. And that's what really built our friendship. Right. So when I decided to run, we met, and I said, hey, I don't know if I want to run for 35 because God's blessed me. I'm doing great things in the 118. I love being a state representative. I was chairman of international relations. I was on Texas Workforce Economic Development, doing things that I love. And how do I give that up? And especially to some of the candidates that are running on the Democrat side, man, I don't want our seat to go that way. And when you stepped up to the plate and said, it wasn't easy. I know you were like, I don't know, and you had to think about it. But when you committed, that allowed me, okay, I want to run for the 35 because I think the 35 is an important race for Texas also.
Well, but don't discount also because you are the leading Republican in Bexar County. And what I mean by that, because the 118th was such a special seat for you to hold, and let's look at the numbers. Unfortunately, it's considered, because of the elected officials, a Democrat city. The governor went through you for Bexar County. If Bexar County needed anything, he would go through you because you are the Republican that's always been a Republican, and now you've held a very difficult seat. And that can't be discounted because of the amount of good you've been able to not only do for 118, but the whole county. And you're very modest about that, but we're looking at all of the good things you've been able to do, and if you can take that to the federal level, and now, what do you have, 4 counties?
Yeah.
4 counties?
4 counties.
How many people? I mean, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people now. I'm all for you. I'm all for you because of what you've been able to do in the 118. But
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I'm being a little selfish, too. Because, I want to win, and I want to win. And I run, and I'm running hard, right? I'm a man of prayer, and I'm thinking, man, God, do you have this for me? But if I'm going to be there, I want you there on the 118 because we're going to work together. Your whole district is in the 35. And can you imagine, I don't want this to be a bashing session for anything, but in our side of town, it's difficult, man, getting things done. Number one, people don't like the fact that, he's a Republican. And then I got the fact that, man, I do have favor with the governor. I do have favor to get things done down here. And, man, do I want to do it? I want to get even. They don't want to be nice to me here. I can be mean. I don't play like that, right? I want to do the right thing for the people. And so having an ally here like you in the 118, can you imagine with our friendship, sitting down, bringing people together, thought leaders together, subject matter experts that are in the fields of stuff that we might lack a little bit, and putting plans and policies in place that's going to better our community. I get excited about those things.
I do too, because I see now the things that we've talked about starting to happen, and it's this. There is no replacement for being vetted in this community. When the freeze happened 2 weeks ago, I come from one side of Highway 37. You come from the other side of Highway 37. And then ultimately, what ends up happening is that we meet in the middle at one of the warming stations, and we start informing all of our communities about what was going on there, so that everybody now knows. And that's just one small way, right? That's just one small way. And we're sitting there going, how come this communication hadn't happened before? It's because you don't have elected officials that are from there, suffering with the people in the 118th, living with the people in the 118th, and know everything that's going on in the 118th. So that's just one way, but that's when it started hitting me. If you're in the federal government or you're in whatever larger capacity as an elected official now, the amount of help that can come to the 118th with people that actually care and know the district that aren't brought in from outside, that's a great thing. That's a great thing for everybody, regardless of party, but it is. The 118th is considered a Democrat district. It's allegedly 52% Democrat. So at the end of the day, you said this, believe it or not, Adam Salyer said this, don't forget everybody. regardless of the
Right.
party. Don't forget everybody. There are 188,000 people in the 118th, if not more now, because of all of the construction. So we've got to govern for everybody, to help everybody. But at the end of the day, again, it's based on those morals, those ethics, those pillars of the Republican Party, which are what? Faith, family, country. And I'm sitting there going, that's the same thing I've been saying from day one.
You know, Desi, as we were talking and I start thinking back, something really important happened. I was talking to some folks and they brought something up to me and they said, why Desi? And I was thinking, man, you know why Desi? I said, because this district's tough to win. It's a Democrat district. And the people asked me, well, then, John, how did you win? And I thought, it wasn't because I was Republican or because I'm not handsome or anything like that. It was because I was vested in the community.
Right.
I coached Pop Warner football 30 plus years. I taught youth in Sunday school,
Right.
and I still do our young adults. I attend church there. My family's there. We give back to the community. My host family's involved. I never left. Even when I started making more money with the technology coming, I stayed on the South Side because I believe in it. And people looked at that and said, man, and when all the negative attack ads hit me, people would say, no, that's not John. He's
Because they
better
know
than
you.
that. Right. And so I was thinking, that you're fighting the same thing. Now I fought it from the Democrat side. You're fighting it on the Republican side, where you got people coming and say, "Oh, he's not Democrat. He's not this. He's that." But man, I'm telling you, your secret sauce, Desi. Listen to me, is you're vested in the community. Your family's in the community.
Right.
You love the community. You've
Right.
given to the community. Nobody can take that away. Nobody can duplicate that. And I think that's what's going to carry you on to victory.
Well, thank you, and I'll share with you when it finally hit me what you had been talking about, being vested in the community. We're at the town hall meeting 2 nights ago, and I can't see out. I'd shown up a little bit late, so I'm looking for a friendly face. We're talking, we're done. Once I go and I sit down, a friend of mine comes up with a beard. I don't know if you remember, I introduced you to him.
Yeah.
That gentleman started telling all of his friends that this is my guy, we're voting for him. Why? Because I had met him about a decade ago here in our communities from the 118th. He lives down the street from me, and we had done some business together. And because of that relationship, he goes, Desi, I know you, man. I don't care.
He knows your heart.
Right. He knows me. He knows my heart. He knows how generous I was. He knows what I tried to do in helping him and his family and how I've been there the whole time. And then it hit me. That's the same thing I hear about you. Meaning that you've been there. They know you. Regardless of what's going on with the negative ads, they know who you are. He knew who I was. And it's the same thing. Different parts of the community. So just to share with you our journey, we didn't do any of this for political sake. We started the law firm in this part of town because, again, I saw the opportunity, but I also saw a place kind of like everywhere I've grown up, allegedly underprivileged, underserved. I wanted there to be good representation there because it meant something to have a strong lawyer in a place where there aren't a lot of strong lawyers, right?
Well,
I knew it,
yeah.
right. So it meant something for kids to see this because I never saw any growing up, and I knew we'd be fine. So what do we do there at the law firm that, again, speaks to community? Instead of putting my money into advertising and doing billboards and doing a lot more social media and commercials like we could, I'd rather pour it into the community because, again, that community is always taking care of us. So what do? We sponsor school districts, we sponsor scholarships, we sponsor baseball teams, football teams, soccer teams, cancer research, anything within the districts where we are, and those end up being where I live, right? So it's how true capitalism is supposed to work. You're not supposed to tax me to death to give those people, give those charities what they need. Capitalists are supposed to do it out of their heart, right? That's the way to do it. We've been blessed by the community. I try to bless the community in return, and now that ends up being the vestment that's helping us get over the top, like it has been you. And I don't do it for advertising. There's a lot of charities I give to that I don't want people to know about because one hand isn't supposed to know what the other hand does. That's biblical, right? I don't do it for that reason. But again, now it's paying off in this investment in the community that we're talking about. And it's like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I get it now.
And I share that all the time. The things that you do it out of love, without even knowing that, man, it's preparing you for something else. and all of a sudden you're seeing like, wow, I bet you didn't do it for those reasons.
Right.
You know, never did I think I was going to be a state representative. Never did I think I was going to be running for U.S. Congress. I would have laughed at you 7, 8 years ago. Most of my friends would have laughed also if I was saying that. But here I am running for Congress. But all those things, because you work hard, because you invest, because you love, comes back to bless you.
It comes back to bless you, and you just got to follow what it is that the Lord wants of you. And I've told you, you knew this, I hadn't made a decision when you and I talked, and you gave me the time to sit there and pray about it, and I said, I'm not getting up until I get an answer, God. And then when I get the answer, I stand up, I go and I tell my wife, I think I got an answer, wife. And she goes, well, then you go back and you pray some more, because that's not what I want to hear. But it's because of what you talked about. This is a whole family thing. This affects me, my community, my church, my kids, everybody, my whole family. So it is, I appreciate you for getting a little upset about the negative ads. I'm not. I'll tell you why. Because literally every passage I read this weekend was about, do not fear the false report. If you're doing this for the Lord, there's joy in it.
Yeah.
You will grow in it.
Yeah.
It's for a reason.
That's
It's
right.
Okay, I'm just going to keep on doing what I do. It's never going to change. Be invested means that win or lose, good or bad, I'm here before, I'm here during, and I'll still be here after doing the same thing. Right?
And you know what? All you're doing is validating that I was correct by saying go with Desi, because I would, I'd be disappointed if you were that vindictive type to get back, because we have enough of that in politics.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if I'm not a congressman, if you're not a state rep, we still have our lives, we got our families, we have the things that we're doing.
Still have that joy.
Yeah, we still have the joy. You can't steal the joy. Doing this out of true public service, that's what this world is hungry for, and that's what's gonna heal our land. When you have all this divisiveness, there's nobody that's going to know more on how the Democrats think, how the buttons to push, how to bring them over to not, because I do believe there's some conservative Democrats, but that the far, far left is just pulling them far away. But who to know that and sympathize that better than you, than me, because we live in the community. We know that. And if we pray for godly wisdom, we can say the right things, not to cause further division, but to bring people together. And that's what it's all about.
Right. And I think it's got such a negative, politician is such a negative term now, right? But a true politician has to be able to look at all sides and say, I'm going to do the right thing based on my principle that's best for the most people. Majority rule, minority rights, we learned it in Texas history and in social studies, right? And that's the way a true politician should look at things. But there's not enough of that right now. There's not enough of that. But your race, speaking of the 11 politicians that are running the race against you, how do you feel it's going?
I think we're doing well. I think we're doing very well. My part is just getting, it's tough for me to run this race because I take pride that I know my 118 district. In fact, in my 118 district from Somerset, Von Army, Sandy Oaks, Schertz, Universal City, all these mayors have endorsed me. And some of the mayors, well, all of the mayors, I tell them, before you endorse me, there's 10 other candidates. There's 11 total. And they said, no, what you've done as a state representative, we're standing by that. That's what we want on the national level. And that made me feel real thankful. And it validated the work that I'm doing and stuff like that. So all of that's what, where I'm struggling, I said, man, I got to meet the people in Seguin, in Floresville, in Karnes City, in Kennedy.
Tell everybody what the counties are in the 35.
Yeah, so what it does, the new 35 takes in all of the 118 district. Okay. So 100% of 118, even a little bit more outside of 118, but all in Bexar County. It takes in 100% of Guadalupe County, which Seguin is the biggest city there. And it takes in Wilson County and Karnes County. So those three counties, along with the big chunk of Bexar County, make up Congressional District 35. It's a very, very important seat. Somebody and I live out in the rural area of Bexar County, so I relate with the rural folks, and I know their issues and stuff. But I've also served the city part with San Antonio. So God has put me in a really unique position to be there. Here's my fear, though, and I know I shared this a little bit with you, and I mean this sincerely. I'm worried that if and I don't want to sound selfish or big shot or anything, but if I don't win this seat, I'm worried that the Democrats can take the seat, because that's a scary thought, man.
How does that happen? Meaning that, tell us a little bit about what the demographics and the numbers look like, because again, from the outside in, did not know that.
Yeah.
What's going on in that district? It makes you even think that or fear that.
Well, so the 118, the Bexar County piece takes in about close to 51%, 50 point something. So a little majority of the votes are going to come from Bexar County.
Okay.
Well, the Lupic, Karnes, and Wilson make up almost 50%, 29 point something. If we don't get the right person, and here's my fear, Desi, they say this 35 district is made for the Republican Party, and it sits like anywhere between 53 to 55% Republican, but they're using my numbers. And since I'm the only one to win that, if we lose those percentage points, the Democrats could easily, or not easily, but competitively take this district.
Have any of the other candidates held office in and around the 35 area?
None of them have. I'm the only elected official, and I venture to say I'm the only proven one, because I've won 2 tough 118 battles where I've won.
Okay.
And that's why, that's the message that I really want to get out to the people, that it is that important that we put the right person there, that we hold the seat, not just to hold it for the party, because yeah, I'm a party guy, but I'm a people guy. I want to do this for our district. There's some serious issues that are going to need to be addressed, and I'm looking forward to tackling those and getting involved in that.
And right now, so what is the plan before the early vote? How are you going to attack this, and what do people need to be ready for?
From me right now, what we're doing is we're visiting those cities every single day. I'm speaking at one of those cities. We're doing a lot of fundraising. Fundraising, probably the biggest thing that we need to do, and it's one of the worst things that I do, because I hate calling and bugging people for money, but I need to do that because we got to do the mailers. Just to do a mailer, $25,000, $30,000 each mailer, right? And you have to have so many. There's a lot of people now. I'm considered the front runner, so a lot of people are taking pop shots at me, and which is okay. And I don't. And between you and I struggle.
Well, and everybody out there.
Now everybody out there. Yeah. I struggle with my team sometimes. I got a really good team, but they want to go negative. And let's do it. And John Lujan, I don't have that reputation for doing that, nor do I want to do that. And now I can tell them, look, I haven't done it in the past, and I've been blessed, right? So it works. And I want to do the right thing. And so stay in the course, working really hard, family involved. That's going to get us over the hump, and I think we're going to be victorious.
I think so, and the numbers, the data, the information that I'm just getting familiar with all shows that. But we always got to run like we're losing, right? We always got to work every single day. That's, I think, the other undiscussed factor. I say this about my law firm, and I say this also about this campaign. You've got to work. You've got to work. You've got to work. You've got to keep on working. And when you have time, you work a little bit more.
Right.
And that's what you've been doing.
Right. And it's really tough, because I still have state things that I take care of that I do as a state representative, and I have to go do those things and make sure that those things are continuing, and then also all the campaign team. But my thing for you, Desi, and I came, and I feel so much better even just doing this podcast, because I'm hearing that it's not bothering me, because I got some texts and I see some things, and just everything is slamming you, and I'm thinking, that is so wrong, man. This is not right. And this is within party fighting. And there's no need for that, man. Just let people tell who they are, what they've done. Let people ask us questions, and then move forward on that. Because you know what? Once you get past this, you're going to be victorious. You're going to take a deep breath, and then you better get ready again, because now the Dems are going to come at you, and they're going to slam how you're a Trumpster and how you're a far right. I would be called a rhino on one day by some people, and then that afternoon I'm a Trumpster and a far right, MAGA. Because people are just people can be mean.
Well, but you figured this out. When you are grounded in who you are, when you know why you're doing things, when you're at peace within your soul, and you've done everything for the right reason, there's nothing can steal that peace, right? Philippians 4.
Amen.
I will give you a peace that the world will not understand. Why? Because our joy is grounded in Him. I'm doing this because I'm supposed to suffer for people to help them. If that's what He's told me to do, and I'm willing to do that, that's my joy, man.
Amen.
They can't take that away from me. No matter all the negative pieces, and unfortunately, the only difference in our careers, because you've done a lot of different stuff. Everybody knows you because of your careers that you had. I live in a world of ugliness and litigation. I just do. So I'm a little bit more used to the name calling and the mud dragging and the mud slinging. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know why I'm doing it. I know the Lord is with me. I've got that joy.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. I actually started giggling at some of the pieces just because, like, that's all you got.
Yeah.
I thought we kind of knew that, but okay, if that's all you got, that's all you got.
And and I knew that, and I knew you were probably, because to me, yeah, it was harder for me to take all the slamming that I did, but being grounded as a Christian man, I can handle those things, but I see you handle it better. I just wanted to make sure, because a lot of times we'll put a facade of, hey, I'm good, but deep inside we hurt a little bit, or there's going to be those times when we feel alone as a candidate. You got people all working around you, and man, I'm alone on this. These are just things that we go through as candidates. But those are great times to go to the Lord in prayer and renew your spirit. And I always hang on to probably 2 or 3 songs that I like to sing all the time that get me past some of these mindsets that you go through. But I'm telling you, the joy comes when we're elected and we're doing really good policies that are having a really big impact on our community.
On everybody. Even the ones that are against you, right?
Yes. We're doing it for everybody. At that time, I have a short memory. I put that stuff away because you can't. It'll eat you up if you're, okay, I got to get even with this group and that group, and I don't want to help them. I don't remember faces anymore. Somebody comes, I didn't want to approach you because, I was really hard against you. I don't care about that. What do you need? And let's go. Let's work forward. That's what's going to help you be successful. And I like that because I see that in you. You're a good man, man. I'm thankful that you're running.
Appreciate you. I appreciate our discussion. Absolutely. What do you want to leave everybody with? John, I'll closing words from you and from me.
The closing words from us, I want to make sure that we are an example for the people that we're going to represent. I want to be an example to all the young people that you don't have to go and bash other people. You don't have to be mean and ugly. I've taken my share of bashing. He's going through that right now on what he's going through, and he's handling it like a man of God should. A good example to our youth. And if you can remember that, Desi, that, hey, I am an example, because people have to see Christ through us.
Right.
That's a powerful message.
Well, thank you. And that's, again, why did Christ come in on a donkey? He could have come in on a war horse, right? 10 feet tall.
You would think he would.
Hoarding it over people. But at the end of the day, he knows our hearts, and our hearts fight, and our hearts are vindictive. And we would have said, I'm not going to bow to that man. But he didn't want your heart through force. Right. He wanted it through love.
Amen.
And that comes with, again, ultimately giving in to those ugly situations and going, I'm still going to love you. Now, again, I'm not trying to preach, but at the end of the day, if you're doing it for the right reasons, then your peace can't be taken from you. My peace hasn't been taken from me. Give me the opportunity to explain. I think 100 out of 100 have actually agreed with me once I'm done talking. Amen. And it's just that. It's just that. Thank you for your support.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for approaching me with this at the very beginning. I know it's a way to suffer for others. It's what we're called to do. And it's being a true example not only to the district, but also to my children, my family.
And you got a good family, man. I love your family.
I love yours too.
All right, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Thank
man.
you, Representative.
God bless.
Congressman.
All right, State Rep.